only player in the Western Conference, in my opinion, who can contend with Luka for who's the best offensive player in the Western Conference.
Oh yeah, it's them too, and then there's like a Grand Canyon.
When the defense is shifting as much as it has to deal with Luka Doncic, and you have a running mate like Kyrie Irving, that's an incredible disadvantage. Luka and Kyrie are the most dynamic offensive duo in the NBA. That one series against Minnesota where Anthony Edwards called out Kyrie, and Kyrie came in game one and literally had Anthony Edwards on oxygen for the rest of the series. And then Luka comes in game two and punches him in the mouth.
You got to look at the two opponents they faced. They faced the 5-out Thunder, who basically only want to shoot 3-pointers. They basically slowed the series down to a halt in that series, made it a very half-course based game. They took their second best player, and the offense clogged up because Giddey as well was just unable to stay on the court. There was no ball movement. There was no secondary scoring. Now what happens in the conference finals when they play the biggest and the toughest, most physical team in the NBA, in the Timberwolves, and they sped them up. They forced the ball specifically on defense into Ant's hand. They're like, no, you're not going to score. You're going to have to create. He's amazing. I love him. He's going to be the next face of the NBA. But that man could not pass the ball out the three-point line without throwing it into the third row. And to beat those two teams shows a level of versatility and the ability to impose their style of play that no other team in the Western Conference has.
Derrick Jones Jr. played well, not taking anything away from him. He came in on a minimum contract, though. All right. He played well, and there were times in the playoffs where he could not knock down a shot. So where is Dallas there now? We brought in possibly the greatest spot-up shooter in the history of basketball.
I would say yes.
And not only that, you brought in like championship culture. You brought in a guy who understands what type of mentality it takes to win a championship and who has no interest in anything other than getting back to that point.